this past year has been a rough year for me and for my family. And a lot of times I need that ear. Like, don't tell me I'm being too emotional. Don't tell me I need to pray more. Don't tell me I need to dig more. And I know all those things. Right now in this moment, all I need is for you to listen to me.
And it's you and me, babe, whatever comes. Knowing bigger hands are holding ours, and the greatest days are ahead of us. Growing in love, learning to be a better us.
Hi there, so glad you've joined us for Better Us. Welcome to our home.
Yeah. Well, when you got married, you vowed to be there for each other through it all, right? For better, for worse, for richer, for poor, in sickness and in health.
We've definitely lived through that last one.
And while it isn't easy, supporting each other during those times is crucial in building a strong marriage.
Because when one of you is struggling, it absolutely affects both of you. Coming up, Doctors Les and Leslie Parrott will help us to navigate how to respond to your spouse when you're going through a dark and difficult season.
Sometimes struggles in our marriage can seem insurmountable. So also coming up, psychologist Dr. Mike is on the beach answering the question, how do we know when it's time to seek marriage counseling?
There is so much to talk about, and our kitchen couples will be here to do just that. It's going to be a good show, so stay with us.
Okay, so here's a very soulful question on Loveology that we received, and that is, how do we navigate kind of the dark seasons of personal faith? How do you do that personally? How do you do that in a relationship when you're observing that in your spouse?
Right, when you know that's happening. I mean, one of the things that you have an invitation to do in a dark season is allow your need to propel you forward spiritually.
Yeah.
And it really does invite you to deep prayer or deep prayer for each other.
Yeah.
If you even sense that your spouse is going through a dark season or you are, I mean, even though it's maybe unseen, prayer behind the scenes is literally, I think, one of the most soul-altering gifts that you can offer each other.
Yeah, I would also say take your foot off any kind of guilt pedal that you might have.
Right.
If you're feeling like, hey, man, you shouldn't be doing that or whatever, man, that is soul crushing because now I feel misunderstood. Can you just allow me to go through this period without making me feel worse, right?
Listening with a non-judgmental ear is everything. Just letting them tell you their story, their perspective, their doubts. What are they wondering? Because if you can hold them and reflect those back, it gives them clarity, and it literally, it's almost like it parts the clouds.
Absolutely. This is also an important time to not give advice. This is where you want to provide
Or
understanding.
formulas.
No formulas.
Yeah.
Hey, if you just do these 3 things, or have you read this passage or whatever, it's just, no, just to understand, because it's the understanding is almost like a life ring in those times of darkness. It's like, maybe a better metaphor, it's like lighting a candle in those times of darkness because, oh, okay, I can see somebody on the shore and that's encouraging.
Well, I
because
like
they get
that.
me.
I like that because the darker someone's feeling, the smaller the act of kindness that can make a
Yes,
huge
that is
difference.
so true.
Sometimes we get overwhelmed and think, well, they're in a dark place, so it won't matter that I say one little thing or do one kind act.
Yeah.
It matters all the more, and it means even more to someone in a dark place.
And also be careful how you're phrasing something as you journey through this passage with your spouse, because you can say something like, I'm praying for you, and that can
like they're the unfinished business.
yeah,
here.
like it's like I'm praying for you, like you better shape up kind of a thing. Or it can be, I'm praying for you and I'm holding you in my heart tonight. I know things are not feeling great. You know, there's a very different, it's tone and attitude and heart that matters most.
That's everything.
Yeah.
Welcome to our kitchen. Always cooking up some good stuff here with our kitchen couples. It is Mike and Diane Clemens. Great to have you guys. And of course, Dan and Danielle McCauley. All right. Well, we love this little chat. It's like our own little small group here, just talking and enjoying.
Which they're invited to.
Yes, you're invited. So this is an important topic, though.
It is. You know, going through dark seasons, I love how Doctors Les and Leslie were talking about like a spiritual dark season, which everyone goes through at some point or another because we're all human, right? I mean, it doesn't matter who you are. But I think that to enlarge it to a bigger degree, to also encompass like physical darkness, if you're going through something physically in your body or financial or relational or any difficult season that you're going through, how do we help each other get through it in a healthy way? I think the point is that helping each other in a healthy way is crucial. Like Les and Leslie said, it's not that you're just going to give you A, B, C, D, but that I'm going to be here for you and listen to you. And really, that's important.
It is. And so what are your thoughts on this, guys?
I'll let you go first.
Well, be very succinct. Be present, and you'll become one. Right. It really is being willing to walk alongside without judgment, being there, being present, right? And you become a gift in doing so. And so when we have these kinds of situations, it's heavy, right? And so when you come alongside, you lighten the weight. Right, you help provide perspective. You're not, as they say, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not giving advice, but I'm with you. Right, know that I'm with you now and straight through this and forever as we go. Right. Yeah. So.
That's okay.
I know for me, a lot of times when I'm going through some dark seasons, I know this past year has been a rough year for me and for my family. And a lot of times I need that ear. Like, don't tell me I'm being too emotional. Don't tell me I need to pray more. Don't tell me I need to dig more. And I know all those things. Right now in this moment, all I need is for you to listen to me. I just need you to hear me. I need you to listen to me with the intent of hearing me and not with the intent to respond to what I'm saying to you. Because if you're trying to respond, you're not really hearing what I'm saying to you.
That's good.
Right? And so in those moments, I think it's important to just be there. Like they said, to just be there, be that listening ear, because sometimes those burdens can be so heavy and we know God's got us, but at the same time, we're human. And we feel all that hurt, we feel all that pain, we feel it all. And sometimes it gets just so heavy. So it's important that our partner knows that, you know what, right now I just need to be here in the moment with her or with him. I just need to be present.
I'm sorry again.
No, you're so right, Diane. In listening to what you said, listening, use that word, I just think oftentimes in a dark season, we kind of do this with the Lord sometimes. We have a choice to make to run to Him or from Him. And in dark seasons as a couple, like we have a choice to run from or to each other. We need to run to each other, and whether it's just listening or anything like that. And I was thinking about the question, how do we grow in our faith when we're walking through a really difficult season? And for me, it's taken some time. It has taken a lot of years, over 23 years of marriage. We've been through maybe 3 or 4 really marked dark seasons in our life, and it hasn't been until the other side that we see God's faithfulness that I go, that's why that all happened. This is what I learned. This is what you've taught me. And so it can take a lot of time for me. I guess I'm a slow learner, but to do that. And when you were talking about listen, I thought of something I've heard before, is that feeling heard is almost as close to feeling loved, that they're both like almost indistinguishable. That is, you feel loved when you feel heard. And so we have the gift of each other to just let it out and to be heard. And then one more thing I wanted to add, because I thought the number one thing in the moment, the gift that he can give me in the moment in a hard time is a hug. It's my big exhale where I might not need him to fix the problem. And so I looked up some cool scientific stuff about a hug.
Okay.
Listen to this.
Okay.
This is the power of a hug. All that can be accomplished within a 6-second hug. It reduces stress and anxiety, makes you feel calm and safe, actually lowers your heart rate, releases cortisol, that stress hormone. It improves your cardiovascular function. It lowers your blood pressure. It reduces stress, helps you sleep. It goes on and on.
I need a hug.
Give them a moment.
6 seconds. That is the power of a hug. And God has gifted us with somebody to hug that can help us through these things.
In a winter season, what do you want? Warmth. Yes. You want some. You want some warmth, and we've had varying degrees of success or improved. In terms over 23 years of walking with each other through darker seasons, and COVID was one. There was so much pressure and so many things going wrong. During that season, and just like you said, being a listening ear. Even just there's been a little kind of a thing going on with me, at least in my mind, in the last year, and I was really frustrated the other week, and Danielle saw it, and she's like, we got in the car together, we were going out, and we weren't going to have any fun. Actually, it was a date night, but until she could tell I'm agitated, she's like, all right, let it all out. And I'm thankful this had nothing to do with her. It was just something else that was going on. And just like, when someone listens to you, it's just like a pressure valve. She wasn't judging everything I said. She's just letting me say it. And it was fairly unfiltered. And just like letting it and just listening. And you know what? I felt a ton better. And we went out and had a good date night after. And it was just her listening that opened that door to help me in that moment. Just kind of like, I didn't need a big solution. I just needed to process out loud and let the air out, kind of thing. Yeah,
That's so good.
That's awesome.
Because having that special someone, your spouse in your life, to do that, and whether it's the hug or just letting that pressure valve out, it's so vital. And then Leslie in the teaching talked about praying together, or saying I'm praying for you, but actually praying together is powerful.
It is.
And that's like together you're getting a hug from heaven in that, and that does that healing, and it does all the things, the good things in your life and your spirit that you really need, but you're doing it together. There's something special, powerful about doing that together.
Yeah. And Mike, to pick up on your point of being present and then you become a present. When I went through breast cancer 4 or 5 years ago now, I'll never forget my very first day of chemotherapy. We were driving to the hospital, and I was really nervous because I had no idea what this was going to do to my body, but I knew I had to have it. The doctor said, you have to have it. Driving to the hospital, and Ron starts, being my cheerleader. Oh, honey, this is going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. We know that you're going to be fine. That we're going to get through this together, and it's going to do. The doctors are there. Da da da. He starts listing these things.
To fix it, I guess.
He's trying, and I stopped him. I literally stopped him. I reached over and I took his hand, and I said, "Honey, I don't need you to be my cheerleader. I just need you to be with me. Just sit with me. Hold me when I need you to. Everything you're saying, I already know. I know all of that. But from you right now, I need your presence. I need your presence." And from that day on, Ron became, he always called himself my little R rock. He said, Jesus was my big R rock, capital R, and he's my lowercase r rock. And meaning he was just there for me. He was my landing spot. He held me. He got me through some of the darkest times of my life ever. Because he wasn't trying to fix anything. He was just there for me. His presence was it.
And so that's really a most important thing for your marriage, is being there for each other, having that presence. But then, as far as the spirit, growing in spiritual things during that time, it's great to have study God's Word together, have devotional time perhaps together, being part of a church community that you can have that strength, and you could be growing spiritually together as part of a community as well. And so many important things, even reading some great materials on other others who've gone through dark seasons and how they got through. Like you ended up writing a book out of your journey of healing, and so it's so important to get your hands on some great material as well. But nothing better than the Word of God, and let that give you that hug from heaven, as I said. Well, this has been good. I like it.
Thanks, guys. This was a good one.
Yeah.
Well, you stay with us because there's more Better Us to come.
Well, that's a question that a lot of married couples have. Everybody has issues. How do we know if the issues are bad enough to yield the idea that we need to go to therapy? It's a great question. That's what I want to help you guys think through today.
Stay connected with us online. Visit abetterus.tv to watch full episodes, find marriage resources, and subscribe free to your weekly Marriage Moment emails. Browse our YouTube channel with over 500 videos on various marriage topics and share them with family and friends. And of course, hit that subscribe button. Also, follow us on Facebook and Instagram for daily messages that inspire a healthy, lifelong relationship. So be sure to connect online in your journey toward a better us.
Yeah. I'm doing something right.
I think being noticed and appreciated, just the work that I do for the family. So whether that be something done around the house, without being asked, being more proactive, like sometimes just even like acknowledging that, I think really makes me feel seen in a way that goes a long way, I think.
And I like when he does the things without being asked.
I just love being around her. And I think she's a superstar and admire her from far and all the great things she's done and continues to do. But for me, it's the quality time where it's shared activity, where we're doing things together like this, is a real blessing.
We both know our major love languages. Mine is physical touch and, of course, words of affirmation. She knows that. And that's really not hers. So when she does that, and goes out of her way to do those things, that makes me feel loved. Yeah. Because I know she's kind of coming out of her comfort zone and doing the things that matter to me. So yeah.
Those times when somebody really knows who you are or what you need, beyond the basic everyday tasks of, oh, I saw that you were having a hard day and yeah, I brought you some tea. That being seen, that you have to be in close relationship with somebody for somebody to know that. And I also love a back rub or a scalp massage or a foot rub.
I feel the most loved by Alvin when I can share my deepest feelings, share my pain, share my thoughts, and he validates me, he empathizes with me, he cares. I always joke that it feels like he's Jesus with skin on to me.
That's a big job, Olaf. Jesus with skin. I'm going to fail every time.
We enjoy being around each other. At the end of the day, it's not a problem to spend time with him. But if I were to add to that, another love language for me is just this, some PDA in, whether it's public, personal, just touch, just remind me that you're there. And one thing that he does very well is just to encourage me. We have a lot of things that we do apart, and I just want to make him proud. I just love him with all my heart. So all the love languages, but those top would be my three.
Spending time together. I love just getting a coffee and going for a drive together, just being one-on-one, just us, where there's no one else. Also, just to know that he's there for me and he's behind me. He would stand up and fight for me, just to know that I'm loved and protected.
Even a few years ago, I had gotten sick, and Joy literally took care of me for 3 or 4 months. I couldn't even take care of myself, and Joy literally took care of me. She's a natural nurturer. So the thing that makes me feel really loved by her, aside from nurturing, is when she rubs my head at night. I just love that.
I kind of rubbed all the hair
Yeah.
off. He had hair when we first
Oh, I had a
met.
big afro when we first met.
And now you have no hair. So.
That is correct.
Hi, Ron and Ann here, and thank you for your interest in A Better Us.
Today, more than ever, we all agree there's a vital need to protect and strengthen marriages and families.
You know, that's our goal through our A Better Us media ministry, live events, quality resources, and personal marriage coaching.
We want to inspire and equip couples everywhere toward a healthy, Christ-centered marriage.
A Better Us is a production of a nonprofit charity that we lead, and as we all know, it takes a team to get the job done.
And we need you to be a part of our team in order to sustain and grow this ministry.
The best way you can help us is by joining our monthly partnership program.
$35 a month will make a big difference in providing hope for many marriages. Simply visit abetterus.tv today and click donate.
Yeah. And when you sign up monthly, we'll send you 2 of our A Better Us coffee mugs to say thanks.
Most of all, you'll have the satisfaction of knowing that your investment is strengthening marriages and families around the world.
Thank you so much.
So my wife and I went to some friend's house for a dinner party the other day, and right in the middle of dinner, this couple gets in a knockdown, drag-out fight. I'm telling you, it was pretty serious. It was uncomfortable enough to where I was looking at my wife and we were kind of giving each other that nod, like, should we stay or should we just go? Like, and obviously they ended up, repairing things, and we were able to kind of finish dinner. And later on during the night, my buddy comes to me and he's kind of apologizing, like, hey, sorry we had words. But everybody fights like that, right? And I was like, no, everybody doesn't fight like that. Actually, man, you guys are pretty intense there. And so he asked me, he's like, well, you're a psychologist. When do you need to go to counseling? And it's funny that he asked that, because that's actually a question that I get a lot from people. That's a question that a lot of married couples have. Everybody has issues. How do we know if the issues are bad enough to yield the idea that we need to go to therapy? It's a great question. And that's what I want to help you guys think through today. The first thing I want to say is most couples just wait too long. And that's the general rule, is they don't get in the therapy office soon enough to actually address the issues, and they build all this resentment to the point that once you get in therapy, you're working through years, sometimes decades of issues. And my encouragement to you is don't do that, right? Go earlier, not later. And here's the beauty part. It's the cool part. It actually works. Like, marriage therapy actually works. Studies show that around 70% of couples who go to therapy found it to be very effective. The ones that don't find it effective, here's just my bias in it, I think that has a lot more to do with where they're at as individuals and as a couple than it is on whether or not therapy works. So what are some specific things you can look for? The warning signs to say, okay, Mike, what do I need to look for to say, if we're going through this, I definitely need to call a counselor? Number one, you're having frequent or intense arguments. Frequent or intense arguments. Look, everybody argues, right? I get that. But if this becomes a lifestyle, if this is the way you guys are living, if it's the way you solve problems, that's an issue. And the counselor, the therapist, is going to teach you how to essentially fight fair. No one wants to take away your ability to talk through problems. We just want to help you fight fair. Number two, is there a lack of healthy communication? Just because you're not fighting doesn't mean you're communicating well, right? Sometimes communication is just so shut down that people have closed themselves off and built these massive walls with one another. I'll tell you one thing, as a marriage therapist, when I have a couple comes in and they are sitting next to each other and they don't have much emotion for each other and they're not talking much and they're just sort of flat, I know that's going to be a lot harder. That's going to be a lot harder for me than the couple that comes in arguing with passion, because the people that are just totally shut down, they're past that point of even being emotional. Like, you don't even mean enough to me right now to actually get emotional. That's an issue. If that's going on in your marriage, get to a therapist immediately. Number three, there are trust issues. Look, trust is a crucial factor in any relationship. And if it's broken, that broken trust can bring insecurity, doubt, stress. Now, trust problems can stem from past personal experiences. This can be from something that you experienced way before you ever met your spouse, or it can be from something that happens right here, right now. And so, we're talking about financial betrayals, sexual betrayals, and really, honestly, just betrayal in general. Sometimes people just lie. And if you lie for long enough, that constant lying will erode any trust that your spouse will have in you. One more thing I want to point out here, a lot of times people just want to get through betrayal, especially if you're like the offender, like I betrayed you. If you've not done the hard work of grieving a betrayal, I promise you, it is still lurking down underneath the surface, and it's dramatically impacting the quality of your marriage. You had an affair, you spent a bunch of money, what doesn't matter. If you haven't fully addressed that, I promise you, going to counseling is going to help you have the marriage that you want. And then finally, and this is a big one, you need to get in therapy if there's a lack of sexual intimacy in your marriage. Sex is a gift from God. No, the men that are watching did not pay me to say this. Sex is a gift from God. And we're all sexual beings. And some people feel like they're just not sexual. I get that a lot in the therapy office. I lost it. I just don't have libido, and it's been years. And my professional opinion on this is really simple. If you don't have a sex drive of some sort, it's very likely that it's a result of unresolved problems from your past. And this can be unresolved hurts from a relationship you're currently in, but it could be from stuff that you went through in a previous relationship. It could be from stuff even you went through in your family of origin. But the bottom line, if you're in a sexless marriage, it's time to go to marriage counseling. And your therapist, look, they're going to know what to do to help you both regain a physical and intimate connection. All right, my final encouragement to you is this. Just don't wait. If any of those things are going on in your marriage, don't wait. Get in counseling as soon as possible. And I promise you, if you just give it your best shot, you're going to end up having the marriage you've always wanted.
Hey friends, Ron and Ann Maines here, and we are so glad you're with us here on our A Better Us YouTube channel.
And we pray God's blessing on your marriage as you take this in.
And be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already.
And enjoy this video.
Well, we've come to the end of another program, and we're so glad you've joined us.
Today's show really hits close to home because everybody goes through dark seasons in life. Those times when life is just hard. I know we've had our fair share of those when I went through breast cancer recently and all that goes with it.
It was a tough season, for sure, in our lives. One that we went through together.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the point. Even if just one of you is going through a dark season, it definitely affects both of you.
It's easy when we're in the desperate place, where we all go to question God, to feel distant from those closest to you because your world is shaking and you're scared. That's when we need to focus on what isn't shaking. We need to focus on the firm foundation of our relationship with God.
He is solid and faithful, and He isn't going anywhere.
That's right.
And as a spouse, we need to simply be there for them at their worst and hold them at their weakest.
And as Dr. Mike encouraged, if the challenges you're facing in your marriage seem bigger than you can handle, it might be time to seek outside help. And you know what? That's okay too.
That's right. Wherever you find yourselves, the bottom line is to make sure you have God at the center of your relationship, because that is where your true strength lies as a couple.
If you feel like you want to know more about how God can help your marriage and even receive prayer for your particular circumstance, the number on the screen is there for you. It's our prayer line, and it's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Give us a call. You'll be amazed at the difference God can make in your marriage.
That's right. Well, thanks for joining us today. We're so glad you did. And remember, with God, there is always hope to become a better us. Hey friends, we really hope you're enjoying the marriage conversations here on our A Better Us YouTube channel.
We have hundreds of more helpful marriage videos designed to give you hope and tools to make your marriage even better.
Right. And you can see just a few options we think you might like here and here. So keep exploring.
Oh, and make sure you subscribe by clicking here so you don't miss out on all the great marriage help we have coming your way all the time.